Hello, welcome to another video. Today we are doing a form of recommendations, almost a bit like a TBR game, but a recommendations game. But I don't know if this has been done before. It probably has. It's probably not original. It's probably been done before. But I am a lover of oracle cards. I really enjoy oracle cards. I use them very much as a form of self-care, a bit of like meditation for myself. But one of my favourite decks is this Prism oracle deck. And I thought it would be pretty cool if I could take my Prism deck, randomly select some cards, and recommend some books to you based on the cards. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do some Prism oracle recommendations. I'm gonna shuffle my cards up. We're gonna see what the deck comes out with. One of my favourite things about this deck is that it's so easy to interpret. Like the style of them is so simplistic and they're just single words, colours. You know, like we've got, let's take frustration for example. It's just the frustration card. Like it's so easy to interpret. There is a little book that explains things, but I find this deck perfect for when I just need like a quick card, something to think about, something to focus on. So yeah, it's one of my absolute favourites. If you're a beginner for Oracle, I really recommend this deck. I'll see if I can find a link to it on Amazon to leave it down below if you're interested. But we're not using it for Oracle purposes today, we're using it for book recommendation purposes. So I will shuffle the deck up, we will select a card, and then I will recommend you a book based on either the word, the colour, the vibe, the illustration on it, or design, less illustration I suppose. And we'll see what books I can recommend you. That is the gist of what we're doing. So, let's pull a card, shall we? Let's go with this one. Ooh! Movement. Green. Movement. Okay, so a book that reminds me of movement and green. Okay, so the book I'm going to pick for movement and green is actually Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. The green I'm getting from the very natural, earthy tones and vibes of this book. It is very, like, classic medieval style fantasy, you know, living off the land, everything's pretty, like, earthy, no technology, that sort of vibe. You know what I mean, like classic medieval fantasy vibes. So that's where the green is coming from for me. Movement, very much this whole series. The amount of movement there is, whether that's character development, physical movement, the lot. So this follows the journey of Fitz's life. He starts off in the first book as a very young boy, and throughout the series we see him growing up. It's very much his coming of age story. He is the bastard son of the king in waiting. However, when he discovers that his bastard son has arrived, he abdicates the throne and moves off to the countryside, vanishing from royal life. This leaves Fitz in a very strange position. He's not quite claimed by the royal family, but he's not quite ignored by them either. He's in a unique position where he is kind of a prince, kind of royal, but also very much one of the commoners as well. So the king decides to use him in the best way possible and have him trained up as an assassin. The series is very expansive, hence where the movement is coming. There is a lot going on in here. We follow the movement of Fitz's life, where he goes, how he develops, but also like the political movement of this world, the development, the prophecies, etc. So I think these fit together quite nicely. Next card. Bit of a shuffle. Gonna go for this one. Ooh, comfort. Pink and comfort. Okay, so for pink and comfort, I am going with Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. This is the beautiful Folio Society edition that Becca got me for my birthday a couple of years ago. It is a beautiful book. Absolutely stunning. I love it. I love it so much. I haven't actually read this edition yet. I am scared to do so, but oh, gorgeous, gorgeous book. I love it, and it's got its little slipcase as well to keep it protected. But pink and comfort. I mean, the pink kind of doesn't quite match the cover, but is pink in tones. But pink is still like comfort, it's love, it's sweetness, isn't it? And that is everything that Howl's Moving Castle is to me. Howl's Moving Castle is one of my favourite books, one of my favourite comfort reads and movies. The Studio Ghibli movie is one of my absolute favourites. I adore it so very much. And the book as well is such a happy comfort read for me. It just makes sense. It's cozy, it's warm, it's fuzzy, it's a good time, and I absolutely adore it. If you are unfamiliar with the story of Howl's Moving Castle, it follows a young woman called Sophie Hatter who has a curse put on her to appear as a 90-year-old woman, and she travels off to find her fate, like find her future, and she stumbles into the employ of Howl, who is a wizard who is said to eat the hearts of young, beautiful women, but she's a 90-year-old woman. She's got nothing to worry about, and it's full of magic and adventure and magical creatures and so on. We've got Calcifer, who is the fire demon. Just, oh, Turnip Head. Good old Turnip Head. I love it. The book and the movie are very different, but I enjoy both equally as much, and this is definitely due another reread for me because it is a proper comfort book. So there you go. Third one. Oh, that one wants to come out. What is it? Oh, Ghost. Ghosty. Right, come on. A ghosty book that I'm going to recommend. The colour doesn't so much make sense for this one, but a ghosty book that I'm going to recommend is Dead Voices. Spooky. Catherine Arden does spooky middle grade so well, and if I'm thinking of ghosty books that I get along with, I think Dead Voices by Catherine Arden. I do also think The Haunting of Evelyn Jones, to be fair, could have gone for that one as well, or Potkin and Stubbs by Sophie Green, but this is the one that properly springs to mind because this is the one that freaked me out the most, spooked me the most. Could be because I read it in the middle of the night and was then well and truly creeped out. But yeah, Dead Voices by Catherine Arden. This is the sequel to Small Spaces, following 3 kids who have gone on a holiday to a ski resort, and there are these ghostly dead voices in the ski resort, and there is conveniently a ghost hunter also staying at this same resort, and they get into the mystery of what's going on with all these ghostly appearances, and their fun ski resort holiday quickly gets transformed into a terrifying encounter with another dimension and ghosts. So yeah, spooky middle grade. Middle grade is as spooky as I go. I don't really do like horror. This is the most chilling I get. So Ghost, Dead Voices. Okay, number 4. What are we thinking? This one. It's this one. What is this? Oh, another green. Growth. Okay. You know what I think of for Growth? I don't even necessarily want to say this because I feel like I talk about this man far too much. But Spellslinger by Sebastian de Castell. Right, the colour does not match at all unless we go for book 4, in which case it matches much better, but should probably start with book 1 also. Beautiful paperbacks. I do have the hardbacks as well, obviously. So let's just hold both of these for the sake of the colour. But Spellslinger follows a young boy called Kellen, and throughout the series we really witness his growth. How much he grows as a character, grows into himself, grows into what he can and can't do, how his relationship with his family grows and develops, his relationship with Farius and Rikis grows and develops, and again the growth of this land and the politics of it and stuff. But mostly Kellen has such character growth in this series, from young 16-year-old Kellen who's just found out that his magic doesn't work, and that's what his whole life was about. What's he gonna do? Very whiny 16-year-old Kellen, to, in the final book, a much more grown-up, mature Kellen who knows what he's doing, and he knows what he stands for and what he believes in, and he has massively grown up. So the development from Spellslinger to Crownbreaker, serious character growth, and I love this series. I love Sebastian de Castell, you don't need me to tell you about that, but character growth in this series, yes. Okay, card number 5. This one. Ooh, Disruption. I like this card. I like this card a lot. Pink Disruption. You know what I do think of? One that I don't necessarily talk about all that much, but Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. Again, the colour, really I'm not going for colour vibes here, am I? I am 100% going for what the word associates with for me, so this is way more of a word association game at this point. But Disruption, Annihilation, the Southern Reach, everything about Area X is disruption. So this series is about an expedition into Area X, and Area X is this scientific anomaly. They don't really know what it is, what it's capable of, where it came from, anything like that. But anything that goes into Area X does not come out the same. Something is causing a massive disruption, and they're sending expeditions into Area X to work out what it is and research into it. We follow the 12th expedition into Area X, which is made up of a group of women, and after the fate of the 11th expedition, there is a lot riding on this one, and we follow mainly the perspective of the biologist, and it's very mind-boggling. Not only is like the main point of this book the disruption to the environment, the disruption to science and research and our characters' lives, but this book is a bit of a disruption to read. It's a little bit mind-boggling, mind-fuckery stuff. Yeah, I really like this book. It's absolutely tiny. Definitely not everyone's cup of tea, but it's one of my favourite books that I don't think I recommend enough. So this makes sense. This makes sense. And then as I do 6 rolls for TBR Pursuit, we'll do 6 cards today. So our final card for your recommendation is that one that just leapt out. Woo! Which is, ooh, magic. Perfect. What magic do I want to recommend? There's so much magic in my library. Right, purple and magic. Okay. God, I could go anywhere. Right, I've got one. And I know I spoke about this not that long ago, but purple magic, it's got to be Blackbird. This is a comic. I spoke about this in my comics video, but one of my absolute favourite comics. And this is The Great Beast, and on the back it says, "Magic is like water, your heart is a fountain." And this is very much about our main character, Nina, discovering the truth of magic. Ever since she was little, she's been convinced that there is another side to the world. There is a magic side. There are great beasts and wizards, and there is magic, but she's kind of convinced, or her family at least tried to convince her, that she's a little bit crazy. Like, this isn't right. There was a natural disaster that happened, and everything that you saw can be blamed on that. Magic is not real. But is it? Does Nina truly discover the other side of, is it LA where she lives? I think it is. Does she discover the magical world hiding beneath the surface of Los Angeles, and the great beast that she saw all those years ago? It is such a beautiful comic. The art style is absolutely stunning. Like, just, oh, gorgeous, gorgeous. The magic is beautiful, the plot is beautiful, the world is, oh, just stunning and so incredibly magical. So purple magic, definitely Blackbird. Okay, and there we have it. There are your 6 recommendations based off my Prism Oracle deck. If you have enjoyed this, let me know. If you'd like me to do more of these, let me know. This has been quite fun for me, kind of like a word and colour association game. I've enjoyed. I hope you have. As I say, if you want me to do this again sometime, let me know down below, and I will see if I can leave a link to the deck as well down below if you're interested, not only for a game like this, but also just for self-care, oracle meditation, the way that I use it to like just focus my thoughts and stuff. I recommend. It's great if you're looking to get started with oracle decks or anything like that. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, give us a thumbs up, chat to me down below, let me know if you've read any of these books, let me know what you would associate with the cards that I pulled today. But otherwise, I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow for another Vita video. Bye!